Nigeria. Welcome, welcome, welcome to your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Now, it's been one of those days where you're like waiting for the rainbow. Because there's just been so much rain.
Yes.
Rain, rain, go away, come on, rain another day.
Little.
What, little? Me, I'm not little.
I'm little.
I'm big. Yeah, whatever the weather situation is in your neighborhood, we're here to brighten your day, give you a splash of sunshine. Now, I think it's a bit more than a splash. The colors we're wearing today.
Tell me, guys, this wasn't planned at all. At all. We just came in and we saw that, oh, well, I guess it was also a bit intentional. You know, the universe has a way of working things out.
You never know.
Add that extra color to your day, even after a rain lots of days we've had in the past few days. But hey, guys, we're always here, your daily companion for that feel-good show.
So whenever you think of all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wild and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. And he also made Winfrey. Winfrey is all bright and beautiful this morning. How you doing?
I saw you coming too. Thank you so much. I'm doing great. You guys look astonishing.
Wow.
Literally.
Astonishing. I haven't heard that one in a while. Astonishing, right.
But you guys look great. It's a beautiful day. And of course, you're doing a great job adding that color to our day.
Yes, thank you. I hope that your day goes as planned. My name is Emeo Kwacha.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. It's going to be great energy this Wednesday, Wonder Woman Wednesday, again, right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And with Wednesdays comes loads of great conversations, discussions, especially in the area of, nutrition.
Nutrition, relationship.
Exactly.
And of course, we have a performance, you know, to just add that extra brightness that your day needs. But remember, guys, that you can watch us live on GOTV, channel 16 and UHF 49.
Speaking of nutrition, when it comes to the proper foods, that's fruits and vegetables that you need to have in your diet. You might have maybe been hearing about this fruits and veg thing, wondering how people are doing it. Well, we are going to give you some insights today with our guest. Don't worry, we have an expert that's going to be giving you maybe some tips on what you can add to your menu to make sure you have the right balance.
And for a musical performance, we have Best Slim Ever. He'll be here, well, to put us in the right mood. And on relationships, we have, we're going to be looking and discussing 10 things real women do in marriages. And I know that we have a relationship expert at the beginning of the month. And well, today he wraps up, you know, on this.
It was all about real men last week.
Yeah, so today the focus is on real women. Because we can't have real men without real women.
There are a lot of real women out there. It's just that, in my opinion, some men just don't see them. They don't acknowledge them enough.
Well, today we are going to open their eyes.
Yes, so.
Yes.
That's the plan. This Wonder Woman Wednesday. All right.
So yesterday was a buzz.
Yeah, of course.
On social media.
I think it's still buzzing.
Yeah, still buzzing. But first, I'd like to say big congratulations to Davido and his newlywed.
Yes, so
Chioma.
Chef Chioma.
I didn't really say it as newlywed, though.
Yes, no, they just got
There's
married.
nothing newly about that word.
Are you sure? No, the wedding everyone was
like
waiting for
the
finally
wedding
happened.
Yeah,
Officially.
that happened. So we're happy for that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
they've come a long way. They've had an interesting journey.
Yes, they have.
And the joy and happiness that you could see from the videos in both of them just really shows how much they actually want to be together. And they sort of...
And despite.
In spite of the odds. Yes. And there were quite a few odds over the years. Quite a few.
I'm just here to correct.
Well, I said quite a few, but in the end, we're thinking positive now.
Yes,
it spells great things for their future.
Yes, and I particularly loved the love from Davido's family. Not just his close family, his extended family members. You could see the love irradiated. It was all over the place, and you can tell that Chioma is lucky. She's really going to be in a family filled with love. And, you know, that love is just going to keep transcending through generations and generations.
Amen to
Absolutely
that.
for them.
Amen to
And
that.
aside to her being lucky,
to
I
that.
think it has a lot to do with the kind of person she is, right? Because a lot of times, like, I mean, I was watching the videos and I was literally seeing her. I'm like, in all that chaos, she just has the stillness.
Yes.
Stillness with her. And I think it was absolutely like beautiful.
Admirable.
And all of that. So huge congratulations to the couple.
Yeah, blessings, blessings, blessings.
Prayers, prayers, prayers.
Rain down on you as the rain came down yesterday. Showers of blessings on your home. Hello and good morning. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyison. Thank you for joining us. We begin with the outcome of the Federal Executive Council meeting, where the federal government will begin another round of consultation with critical stakeholders across the country and all sectors to reach a consensus on the new national minimum wage. This decision was reached after President Tinubu approved that the memo for the deliberation of the report submitted by the tripartite committee on the minimum wage be stepped down during the Federal Executive Council meeting. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
This Federal Executive Council meeting was highly anticipated, and it lived up to expectations, but dashed the hopes of many workers waiting for a final resolution and the start of the process to implement a new national minimum wage. The report of the tripartite committee came up for deliberation, but President Bola Tinubu had to step it down and decided to engage in wider consultations with other crucial stakeholders and wage-paying entities.
Consult further, especially with the state governors and the organized private sector, before he makes a presentation to the National Assembly, before an executive bill is presented to the National Assembly.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy announced that Nigeria's economy is getting back on its feet. He says, unlike the previous administration, President Bola Tinubu's government does not rely on the central bank's ways and means to fund capital projects.
The total debt stock of Nigeria in US dollar terms fell by 15%. That is very positive.
President Tinubu's federal cabinet meeting also discussed ongoing efforts to flatten the curve of cholera infections and slow down the death rate across the country through a multi-sectoral approach.
Resources were deployed to 21 states to help them respond to the cholera, in addition to improving awareness of our population.
For the Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency, approval was granted for the procurement of CNG-compliant vehicles, weapons, body scanners, and anti-riot gear for counter-narcotics operations. The Ministry of Works also got approval for the review of contracts for the construction of 3 infrastructure projects. The Federal Executive Council approved a memo from the Ministry of the Environment to ban single-use plastics across all federal government ministries, departments, and agencies, in line with the 2022 National Policy on Plastic Waste Management. President Bola Tinubu may have cleverly avoided another nationwide shutdown with his decision to consult widely before adopting a new national minimum wage. But it's still unclear how long Nigerian workers will have to wait before this matter is resolved and a new minimum wage will be fully implemented. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
The Public Accounts Committee of the House of Representatives has suspended all legislative activities following the death of the Deputy Controller General, Finance Administration and Technical Service of the Nigeria Customs Service, Essien Andrew. Mr. Andrew appeared before the House Committee when he slumped and died afterwards. Chairman of the committee, Bamdele Salam, says he developed sudden health complications during his engagement at the National Assembly. The House of Representatives has extended its condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues during this difficult time. The House says it recognizes the significant contributions he made to the Nigeria Customs Service and the nation. Substance suspected to be cannabis sativa weighing 2,880 kilograms to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Lagos.
Stepped forward for the ceremony, which they say will further strengthen the synergy between the agency and the Navy.
Which was arrested on the 5th of June in a Legushi area of Lekki, Lagos State. So the arrest was made possible by a quick response team from the base and Deep Blue assets of NIMASA. All got the actionable intelligence. We quickly swung into action, deployed 3 boats. However, on getting to the location where some criminals were discharging the cannabis into 2 wooden boats, they absconded, thereby leaving the 72 bags of 40 kilograms. I would like to put it on record that the arrest was made possible by the unrelenting efforts of the bait.
That's all we can take for this hour when it comes to the news on Wake Up Nigeria. There's still quite a bit more coming your way. Make sure you stay with us. All right, then. Welcome back.
I had to enter the middle of this.
What?
Astonishment.
What? This brightness. We're brightening your day this morning. We're all bright and beautiful. It's Wednesday on Wake Up Nigeria, and the ladies are here for What's Up and About. So there are so many, there's so much happening on social media, especially with regards the wedding that's happening, but we're going to shift a little bit away from that and talk a little bit about love and acknowledgement. So I'm coming from this angle because I have on occasion, given kudos to my spouse many times for a lot of things he's done for me and all that. And I've actually had people come for me and say, okay, but it's God that really did it for you, Sha. God gave you that husband you have, and he then supported you, so you have to acknowledge God first, etc., etc. And I was just wondering, is there actually a proper way to, acknowledge what people have done for you? So I'm going to make reference to a post here that's on a blog site, and it is the beautiful, I'll say, Shade Okoya in an interview, and she is talking about, how much her husband did for her, and she goes on and on. She literally goes on and on about how much he had done for her over and over again. And the caption on the post was, "Feminists will have a field day with this one."
That
right?
was me.
That was you?
That was my personal opinion.
Oh, okay. I saw the caption. Please don't vex whoever the blogger is.
Yeah.
That was what I saw. And I was like, okay, so how is this a feminist big deal? So let's talk a bit about that. Is there something wrong with, someone actually coming out and acknowledging how much her husband or spouse, or let's not even just say from a women's point of view now, maybe even the men can do it too. Is there something wrong with how she expressed it?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
I just thought that feminists were going to have a field day with that comment because, there are feminists and there are feminists.
Okay.
And, there are feminists that are fighting or advocating for the rights of women and demanding gender equality across different industries or across different areas of life. And those are feminists. And there are the feminists online that are demanding gender equality, but are also advocating for women to be more independent.
Okay.
Don't be shy to talk about your achievements. Don't be shy to, they somewhat have a problem with, you giving men accolades or, ascribing any sort of, acknowledgements to the men for what you've
okay,
worked
so
for
so you have a point.
Exactly.
You have a point. So there are a lot of even just random comments that even come to okay, when they say beautiful woman, they're like, your husband is taking care of you, That
so I was coming
does
there.
my head in
I was coming there because, even here in the workplace, from my own personal experience, right, I see, some of my colleagues, would say, Emma, you're looking so good today. Your husband is taking care of you. He's trying.
Yeah.
Or he's doing well. And,
he is doing well.
Yes, of course.
All right. We're not saying he's not.
Yeah, we're not saying he's not doing well.
But why
But
can't,
then it also sort of, shrinks the value and the years of work, hard work that I have put in to developing myself in every aspect of my life, be it in my career, my personal life, even as a wife and as a woman. So first off, acknowledge me as a human being.
First.
Yes. Then you can now go on to say, oh, you're looking beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you can say, oh, you should allow me be the person to say, oh, I owe it to my husband.
Allow me.
I mean, he's doing excellently well. May God bless him. May God keep him. May God preserve him. May he always be there, you know, to take care of me and be there for me.
Yeah.
Don't be the one to rub it or to tell me or to, you know, it just sort of...
Push it in that direction.
Yeah, it's sort of the means and the value, you know, it just sort of like, in a brief term, it shrinks my years of hard work and achievement that I have also used, you know, in developing myself, in building my own self, you know,
so
as a
Winfrey, you know we're coming to you now. I'm wondering where your angle is because we don't know which side of the line you are on this.
Can you guess the side I'm on?
I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Sure.
Not sure.
Anyways, let me just go back to the video, right?
Yeah, the video.
There's a woman there who's literally done really well.
For herself.
Really well. I was avoiding saying for herself. Really well, right? And then she's literally, people, of course, like one of the reasons why I feel she was granted that interview was because people were wondering, okay, fine, come and tell us, how's it been for you? What's the journey like so far and everything? And then again, she goes on and on and on about, oh yeah, my husband did this, I owe him everything, without him I'm nothing, and all of that and everything. Watching that video, what I see there is a woman that literally knows where she's coming from.
Okay.
And knows that, see, if I did not encounter this man, I will not be here today.
Okay.
Fine. There were a lot of comments. People were talking about how, yeah, God, you sent him, this God that sent him to your life to help you. This one, that one. Nobody is. And she also said it, that in the end of the day, God literally helps.
Yeah.
Helps, like, people through people, right? But she's saying that her own person and source is literally her husband. And to be honest, I see nothing wrong in that. She can decide to literally sing his praises all the days of her life. That is her. And to also be honest, when I see that video, something that comes to mind is literally the fact that she's literally doing as well as she has done is because of the kind of spirit that she has.
Okay.
To literally acknowledge where the blessing is coming from and stay honored in that regard. Okay. And retain that position of like honor and reverence for the man and acknowledgement and appreciation constantly. Do you understand? Yeah. That kind of man will see that and literally... And the truth of the issue, it might literally even be just a mind game.
Oh.
It might, do you understand? So, and that is the thing that I feel a lot of people are literally missing as well. I'm not saying it is, but then again, it's part of, like, even when you speak to, like, to like the older generation, they'll tell you, see, last, you're the one running things. Yeah. But the idea is to make the man feel like he's running things. Do you understand? Wow. So in the end, my point is that, see, know what works for you and just stay. And the ones that are saying, oh, this one, that, because I read a lot of comments. People were just talking about how, everything. The reason why women are some. I'm like, yo, it's now a different situation where a woman has by herself, do you understand? It's different. For instance, now I remember like there's several issues when Linda became a billionaire, and it's a different thing where you can see a woman standing and pushing through and doing her work, and then you now say there's one God somewhere. Do you understand? Like small girl, big God, or there's one. Do you understand? It's different if you now say, okay, you are looking at her, you cannot identify a man, but you know, you are so sure that, okay, she's climbing the ladder so greatly and excellently well because of a man. I feel that's a different conversation entirely. Do you understand? But I mean, the fact that they're feminist or whatever doesn't mean that, fine, you should not appreciate who needs to be appreciated.
As much as there's a different conversation, that's a different conversation. But generally, that's how people see it. Yeah. The minute you see a successful woman, you ascribe it to, you know, to be a man.
It's actually quite painful in that regard, especially for the women who have strived in spite or despite not having such a supportive partner.
Yeah.
And the truth is, a lot of women are covering that fact.
Yes.
They are covering up, they're paying the bills, they are the ones dressing the kids for Christmas, they are the ones paying even the school fees and the NEPA and the everything. But you will probably never know.
Yes.
So and then you would now approach them like, oh,
exactly. Your husband is taking care of you.
So I get it.
Yeah.
But then, so what is the way forward now at this point? So I feel like this lady, Shadi Okoye, in this video, understands where she's coming from, as you said. She understands who she's married to, and she knows what works for her.
And the truth is,
this has worked.
Yes, it has
worked.
And like you said, there's something that you said that just sort of resonated with me now. It's like when they say there's no good man, there's no, behind every successful man is a woman.
Yeah.
Behind every successful woman is a man. So I saw a video yesterday that was basically, talking about great men that have stood behind great and successful women. And in this video, there were a few mentions. Mrs. Ibuku Awoshika. There were a list of, other successful women. So let's not also forget that if you are married to a supportive partner, you are one of the lucky few, to be honest. Because if not for your husband, you wouldn't be where you are today as a woman. Because it is only, dependent on his support and his, being there for you to also help, build you emotionally, physically, in every area of your life, even spiritually.
And even aside even being actively in supporting. There are a lot of stories, speaking about Ibuku Awoshika, I was listening to her, she was telling a story about one of her friends who was literally like a very, very aggressive, like ladder climber in the corporate world and everything. But she got married to this guy. The guy didn't allow her to work.
Wow.
He was not only supportive, he literally told her he wants her to be at home. She has no business working. Because she was so beautiful and he was so
Is that really
insecure.
Support, though?
That's not I said he was not only supportive, he was also now like literally...
Okay, all right. Just to clarify, but we'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. Please use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And of course, tag us WakeUpNigeria TVCE with your thoughts. There's still loads more coming your way. It's Wake Up Nigeria. Yay. Welcome back. It's time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the newspaper this morning. Newspapers in plural there. Welcome, Winnie.
Thank you, Titi.
I believe we have the Nation newspaper starting us off.
Yes, we actually do. And for the major headlines here, we have minimum wage. Tinubu opts for more consultation. We have presidents to meet with governors, council chiefs, private sector players. And of course, a lot of that has actually been in the news. We did that during the news reading today, and then moved quickly up to the top of the paper. To the extreme left, we have EFCC tenders, Emefiele's account statements. I want to travel abroad, in quotes there. We have that on page 4. And to the right of that, the wedding of the year, Davido whips as he gets 85 million naira SUV at show-stopping wedding. We have that on page 37. I'll say he actually wept quite a lot yesterday. To the right of that,
Tears of joy.
Of course. It had nothing to do with the SUV, in my opinion. To the right of that, we have Sokoto government and no plan to dethrone Sultan Abubakar. We have that on page 32. Below that, we have economic indices remain positive, says Edun. We have that on page 4. And there from the CBN, we have CBN restores IMTOs to foreign exchange markets. And to the left of the image we have there of Governor Sanwo-Olu amidst some children, we have National Assembly to get supplementary budgets tomorrow. And on the strip below there, we have Customs Officer drops dead during questioning by House of Reps panel. We have that on page 3.
All right, then. So we have covered the Nation newspaper quite well. We have a few other newspapers with us as well. We have The Guardian with us here. Major headline says, poor states rack up debts, leave $335 billion minerals to illegal miners. There is an infographic right there, as is common with The Guardian newspaper these days. It talks about gemstones, gold, iron ore, and talc in the billions here. Apparently about $320 billion worth of iron and $310 million worth of gemstones are being left to illegal miners. Now, that's a story you can see on page 6 of The Guardian. On cholera, 10 million Almajiris street kids at high risk. News page 30 has more on that. Band A, court restrains Ikeja Electric, NERC, from applying new tariff. Was the tariff supposed to go up or down? Don't know where to look. I don't know where my line is drawn on that. On minimum wage, it says here, private sector insists on 62,000 naira as Tinubu consults governors, others. On graft, concerns as EFCC shelves Akpabio, Adamu, Autumn, and others' files. Customs mourns as DC dies at National Assembly during Reps probe. And let's see what else we have here. Despite denials, Sokoto Assembly considers new bill against Sultan. Federal government bans single-use plastics and styrofoam packs in MDAs. And now that is something that throughout last year, you know, the ban came up, I think, earlier this year. And throughout last year, there were so many complaints about canals, gutters being blocked by these styrofoam packs. And because they are not biodegradable, they do not disintegrate on their own, it was causing such a blockage. But I dare say, since most of the eateries and most of the roadside merchants have stopped using these styrofoam packs, I feel like it has reduced. But there's still flooding issues in places like Lagos.
Yes. So now speaking about the flooding issue, especially during this period where we literally see the rains pouring down day in, day out, I think it's very important that, despite the fact that we're banning certain things that can literally clog drainage systems and cause like environmental degradation, we should also consider other things. For instance, now we talk about the ladies that sweep. That's something that keeps on catching my eye. So when I go for my morning walks, what I do is that whenever I see a piece of dirt, plastic especially, I literally take it upon myself to literally pick as I walk and all that, all the way home, and then trash it properly. But I've noticed that even on those walks, I see this lady that literally sweep the roads early in the morning. They literally sweep things into the gutters.
Wow.
And I'm wondering, okay, so so we're transferring the deaths. The idea is to remove the death, right? So I'm thinking that despite the fact that they think several this kind of jobs are literally, is a no-brainer now, sweep, clean, right? But then again, I feel some level of effort should be put into training these ladies on how exactly to clean up and dispose waste.
So I wonder if proper the proper apparatus has been given to them to use to dispose of it.
Most of
I've seen in some areas where you have sacks.
Sacks. Baskets.
And they're still lined across the road. I'm waiting for some truck or someone to come and pick it up along the way.
Because, I mean, plastics are one thing, but sand as well is something. So they keep on, like, they mount the sand, and before you know it, it's being swept right into the gutters. And then, I mean, the gutters are there for a reason, right? And especially in sides in Lagos where the road is literally more slopey, it's definitely going to, I mean, the blockage, and it's, I mean, it's
so at a point, it was pure water nylons.
Yes.
That used to do my heading. Like, I just used to see them everywhere. I feel like that has sort of reduced, and styrofoam packs sort of took its place. But there's still a lot of other things blocking the drainage. Now, residents of Lekki in Lagos have been complaining back and forth over the past few days about the rains blocking, you know, the floods blocking the roads. And even as of yesterday, when the rained almost non-stop. So there is still a lot to look into in that particular area. So once again, at this point, let's wrap it up on the headlines and the dailies. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. is standing by with Chef Natura.
Yes, I am. Welcome to the kitchen, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Natura. Hey.
Morning.
It's been a while. We have missed you.
Same here.
Oh,
that's life.
It's so good to have you here. Welcome. So this morning, Chef Natura will be making chicken shawarma. I think this particular chicken shawarma is his staple, because when it comes to shawarmas or any of those finger foods, Natura is a real, true natural. I mean, he does it effortlessly. And this morning, well, he's bringing that staple to us. So yes, talk about the ingredients we're using this morning.
We're using chicken fillet, sausages. We have some fresh tomatoes and cabbage.
Okay.
And to marinate, I have my seasoning powder, the salt, you know, to get it a little classy. We have the mustard, the oyster sauce, and the groundnut oil to just put things together. Okay. Actually, I'm just trying to make this educating. Like, this way things is really difficult right now. That Pepe is showing us Chef Pepe.
Yeah.
At least let's see how we can moderate and see get the balance.
Right.
You know, this is how you can make a shawarma. We have the toaster, but I don't want to use the toaster. I'm trying to just use the non-stick pan.
Okay.
So at least we can come to that level, like you're in the house with the family, you can just buy your chicken and just make your shawarma.
Yourself.
And if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to stress, you can come to Tipsy Lounge.
We have the ingredients right there on your screen, guys. If you missed out on them earlier on, well, we have our chicken fillet, our sausages, our mayonnaise and ketchup, which we're going to use as the cream.
Yeah.
For the
to get
shawarma.
It juicy.
Yeah, to give it that, you know, juice.
Juicy
we have our mustard as well. We have our cabbage. I see that Chef Natural was very, very generous with his tomatoes because tomatoes are quite expensive. Now, they still are expensive.
Everything is expensive.
Everything is expensive. Oh. So I think you could augment it with any other vegetables that are, you know, way affordable, like your cabbage or your lettuce.
It's even optional. It's optional. Some people don't
that's why
really
I said
like
you could actually replace it with any
sure,
other vegetable.
Some people like the onions, but I found out majority of people don't really like the onions.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I don't even use it unless it's on request, like I want onions. But tomatoes is always very, very, and the health benefit is wonderful. So, and I just take out the seed. So it's just you feel the crunchiness of the tomatoes. It's just the, you know, outer part. So. Cool.
Okay, so let's get cooking. So what are we starting with?
Normally, I'm supposed to have, if not that is the show, I'm supposed to have marinated but I want them to see I'm going to do it. But the first process is, I'm just going to chop this in little sizes. I'm going to marinate it and keep it for a little while. Okay. It will stir fry. I'm supposed to use the air fryer, but I don't want to do that because not everybody that can afford that.
Exactly.
So let's just come to that standard. Like, I'm just going to stir fry the chicken, and we're gonna just put everything together.
All right. You see that Chef Natural has you guys in mind today. I mean, he's literally doing this just for you, so that, you know, in the comfort of your homes, you want to eat something really nice and, you know, different, right? You can whip up your own shawarma. We'll show you guys the rest of the process later on, but we're going to on this quick break. The show continues shortly, guys. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Now we have a conversation that's about to begin with a young creative. Oprah Onyado is here with us. She is a bilingual creative producer and voiceover artist. Now, she started her media career as a radio broadcast reporter and news anchor, covering major stories across political and socioeconomic issues in Nigeria. Today, she's exploring film and documentary. She is a recent graduate of the Ebony Life Creative Academy, and it's great to have you here with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so you're in our field. You understand the environment. You know, when we have people like you on set with us, it's kind of hard to interview people like you because it's like you know what we're going to ask. But you need to share with us the experience learning a new side to things. I've always thought about going into film. Encourage me or discourage me?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. And I do hope to encourage you. So I find out that with most creative people, they're multi-dimensions. Like you can act, you can sing, you can paint, and it comes naturally to you, right? And I think that's also my story. And I'm at that point where I thought, film, you know, I really want to go into this, and how best to do it. I got the opportunity to go to film school, so Ebony Life Creative Academy, on a full scholarship for 3 months, because it's sponsored by the Lagos State government, but an initiative of Mo Abudu. It was amazing. I mean, going to film school, learning both theory and practical. So like you're not just winging it, but you're able to understand the nuances that comes with the industry. And I discovered that there's a lot that goes into filmmaking. It's not just it's not superficial at all. There's a lot of things that go into it, from understanding production design, because I went in to study producing. Okay. And as a producer, you're sort of the central person in the mix. Yeah. So you need to have knowledge of everything, every other department. And going to film school gave me the opportunity to actually interact with all the other departments that actually make up, you know, the film crew.
So now you were already in media. So once you started learning, what do you think were the most complicated aspects of what you were taught? The most complicated, the most intricate?
So, I mean, you know, I had been doing media, right? And it was more of what's the news, what's the story.
Yeah.
But moving on to film, it's more creative and abstract. It's something that has come from someone's mind and is not, you know, a daily report. So that was really different from me having to receive of a script that someone just thought of and take it from paper to the screen. It was, you would think that it was going to be easy, but it wasn't.
So kokumo, right?
Yes, kokumo.
Did I get it right?
Yes, kokumo.
What does that mean, kokumo?
So kokumo is he who has cheated death, like a person who doesn't die, essentially.
Okay.
And this one was written by one of my colleagues in film school as our final project. It's a story of a man who, I mean, has, you know, committed a crime and he's grappling with guilt, but ultimately he finds redemption. Not to give a lot of things away, but it's just such an interesting conversation that exposes the nuance of life, death, and redemption.
Okay, so you've already mentioned that the story was written by someone else. The journey from paper to the screen, we've already tried to describe that. What part did you enjoy the most in that journey?
Wow. Would it be, you know, cliche to say everything, you know, as a producer, and especially with this project, myself and in fact everyone, because it was our first time, everyone really tried to just immerse themselves into every part of it. So from the writing of the script to the script conference where we had to sit with the writer and tell him, you know, we think you need to change this or you need to do this, to going around looking for actual locations. That was interesting. Like going to different places in Lagos, trying to get a perfect location on a budget, managing the budget, and then also getting everyone on board, you know, and having to build the perfect cast and crew to tell the story. So it was really interesting.
All right, so right now, as we're in the studio here, one of our producers, Mr. Francis Azubike, is staring at us because he's been doing this from time memorial. He's been doing this for years. There's a way that it's been done in the past. And there's a way it's being done now, such that everybody with a cell phone feels like they are a director or producer or filmmaker. Let's put it that way. So what advice or what would you say to them who are, yes, they're making good content on their phones, but what's the difference between just picking up a phone and shooting and actually learning and honing your skills?
You know, I mean, it speaks to motive. I remember going into film school. One of my goals was I want to go in and learn, not just to be able to come out and churn out content, but to become a filmmaker that can stand apart on the international stage. So it really depends on your goal, what you want to make of your career. If you want to play, you know, with the big boys, and I'm not talking about just, you know, in the sphere of Nollywood, but have films that can go to the Academy Awards and you can say, yes, this came from Nigeria, because we don't have a quantity problem. Everyone with a phone can bring out, you know, material. What we have is a quality problem. And in order to up your game in terms of quality, you have to keep on learning.
So are you there? Do you think you're there yet? Do you think you've hit that quality mark where you can push something to an international festival, for instance?
Not yet. But am I getting the nuances and the know-how on how to get there? I'm on that journey.
Fantastic. So you need to tell us what the reception for Kokumo, Kokumo is. What's it been like so far since you put it out there? I know maybe a few people have seen it. Has it been fully released?
It has been fully released. It's now showing on YouTube. A lot of it's an interesting one because Kokumo is not that story that you watch or that film that you watch and you get it by watching it very literally. It takes a bit of thinking. You have to think and understand what is going on. What are they saying? What does this conversation mean? What this word that she has said? So we've been getting the feedback that, oh, I had to even watch this twice. I have to watch it again in order to understand. So yes.
So you have to be delicate with the audience you're targeting here. If you are targeting an audience that is not really interested in watching something twice, you know, you have to be careful when putting out content now, if you have profit in mind, obviously. Sadly, this environment has been, should I use the term accused, of wanting to just laugh, you know, wanting things that are funny, that will crack their ribs, or that abuses someone, or just makes someone look bad or look a certain way. But it's selling, it's getting the views, it's getting the streams. So where do you stand on that with your next project?
Wow, that's a really, really good question. But again, you know, different filmmakers, different strokes for different folks. There would always be a market of people that would appeal to what you put out. I think it's really important to be authentic and, you know, stay true to the story. Make sure you safeguard the integrity of your story. We might not all, you know, get to turn out the comedy. Some of us will have to put out intellectual material, but I do believe that there's a market for it. It's going to be online, it's going to be in film festivals, and hopefully on the international stage.
It's so great having you here with us, Oprah.
Thank
yes,
you.
So they named you well.
They did.
They named you well. And we're going to be looking out for some of your new projects. Just remember us when you get to your kingdom.
We will.
Exactly. All right, then we're going to hand it over to MM in the kitchen with our chef.
Beautiful conversation there with Oprah. And welcome back to the kitchen once again, people. If you're just joining us, with me is Chef Natura. Yes, he is back. And this morning, he'll be making chicken shawarma. Yes, I know. Someone right now is excited. I am as well. So let's run through the ingredients once again and then tell us where we're at. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm stir-frying my chicken, my marinated chicken.
Okay,
chicken
so quickly
fillet.
talk to us about what you used in marinating the chicken.
Yeah, that's the salt, the salt, the English garlic, the mustard, the seasoning powder, and salt.
Oh, you actually used mustard.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I marinated it with that, and once I'm mixing it, I'm still going to add a little
more mustard to give it that extra juiciness and creaminess. Oh, I see. Nice one, guys. Really nice. So we're just going to wait for that to...
just steam up.
Okay.
Like, I just needed to get that fried feel.
Okay, so let's talk about the cream which we'll be using.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people have different methods of using the cream, but I prefer to go the natural way.
Natural way.
Just give you the mayonnaise and the ketchup.
Okay, so you mixed it up together.
Yeah, we just mix it up.
All right. Our chicken shawarma is coming together really nicely here in the kitchen. I hope you're as excited as we all are. Okay, we're going to quick break. It's the top of the hour, people. Stay tuned in. We'll be right back. Welcome to the second hour, guys, of your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. Yes, we'll keep saying it. We'll literally, choke it down your neck.
We are the friends you never thought you needed.
Yeah.
We're always ready to sprinkle rays of sunshine into your day.
Yes, of course. We're ecstatic and absolutely stoked that you've made us your feel-good companions this morning.
Yes,
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
A big shout out to the Danilo twins who are always reposting us. They've already put us online.
Are you kidding?
I was just like, oh, these guys.
You guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you. You are actually the wind beneath our wings, guys. You have no idea. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And that's why every experience here is carefully, painstakingly curated just to make you happy and healthy and ensure that you're warm this rainy, cold, wet day.
Yes, so my name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I am Emil Kocha. We still have one for in the kitchen with Chef Natural working his magic. And just to look at that sizzle.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot happening here. Chef, how's it going?
Going fresh.
Our sausages and chicken breast are in the pan and sizzling away. And every other thing is literally ready. I love what this looks like.
Ooh, that looks like Thousand Island sauce.
What is it? What mixture?
The Nigerian local one.
A natural mayonnaise and ketchup.
Just mayonnaise and ketchup mix. I think that actually is really good.
We're trying to make things very easy for people.
Yeah, simple and direct. You can still eat shawarma even with the economy. Don't worry. Yeah, Chef Natural got you.
When there's a casting down, they'll be lifting up.
Yes, of course. Preach, brother,
You went there.
You went there.
Preach, Natural. Preach.
So it's not exactly exactly Thousand Island stores. It might be Victoria Island stores, but you know it's flooded there now, so maybe we can't name it after.
Oh, and talking about flooded, we'll talk about it later on in the later on in banter. But hey, guys, remember that you can watch us live on GOTV channel 16 and UHF 49.
We're live on YouTube as well. Search for TVC Entertainment, and you'll see us right there.
Yes, guys.
Okay, then.
And remember to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, guys.
Yeah.
Send us those comments on all our socials. Yes, we are everywhere you go. Just, you know, at the palm of your hands, people. You can
So the nutrition conversation is still going to happen. Ayegusi Temitope Bodude is back. He is a nutritionist, dietitian, member of Nutrition Society of Nigeria, the American Society of Nutrition, and nutrition advisor at Tunakins Nutrition Care Limited, discussing significant benefits of fruits and vegetables in our daily meals. It's going to be a great conversation. Okay.
And on relationship, we have, we'll be discussing the 10 real things that real women should do. And we have Pastor Tosin Tokpe Babalola. He'll be right here to, you know,
have this conversation. Yeah.
Right.
He's a marriage counselor. He's so much more. Okay, Institute of Marriage and Family Affairs, USA. And by God's help, he has been able to restore some almost broken marriages to their blissful state. So yes, who better to discuss something like this? 10 things real women do
in marriages. And for a musical performance, we have Best Slim Ever. Franklin Taiwo Adigo, as is known, will be joining us later on.
Yes, so international award-winning certified hip-hop artist. Let's go. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was going to just guys about something that, you know, that was quite an eyesore for me last week. I went to the markets and it turns out that, okay, it was one of those rainy days, so the market was flooded. There was this guy who was carrying this wheelbarrow filled with golden melons, and then 3 of those golden melons fell into the dirty water. He picked them up, rubbed them against some little water that was, you know, stuck on a trampoline, and then put it back in the stash of golden melons.
Wow.
So someone is going to buy that golden melon. So the other market women that saw him screamed, cholera, cholera, cholera. Wow. God said, Clara, what is Clara? Clara, I'm begging. No Clara anywhere. Leave that thing. It is not a joke, guys. Like, it is not a joke.
I love the fact that the market women called him.
Yes,
and they're aware.
did.
So the awareness is out there. I'm glad about that.
Other than the fact that, other than the awareness being out there, it is also being cautious.
Yeah.
And being, you know, also protecting, you know, our physical health, because someone is going to buy that melon that fell into the water. Someone is going to buy it. And you know, let's all just be careful.
Let's be careful, because when you buy fruit, wash it with salt and vinegar. Don't just put it, wash it with salt. Salt is not expensive.
I've gone further than that. Me, I use soap.
And vinegar.
I use soap to wash my apples and orange.
And then wash it with salt. Because soap is one thing.
People don't like me for doing it, but like I
salt
do.
Salt is another.
Whatever we can do, you know,
to
ensure that we keep safe. Yeah, please, let's do it. We have to go on a quick break. Thanks for staying with us. On relationship today, we have with us Pastor Tosin Tokpe Babalola. He is a seasoned teacher of the Word of Life. He has been a huge asset to his generation in the area, teaching on the subject of relationships and marriages. He's a certified advanced marriage counselor from the Institute of Marriage and Family Affairs, USA, and he's been able to restore a lot of broken marriages to their blissful states. This morning, we will be discussing 10 things real women do in marriages. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Sir.
Very well, I'm great.
Thanks for being here, Pastor.
I'm glad to be back.
Okay, let's get right into it. So last week we talked about 10 things real men do in marriages. And this week we're for the women.
Women, yes.
Who is a real woman?
Okay, so just like we said last week, we'll borrow a bit from a definition from last week. We talked about who a real man is, and the definition was that a man is not just a male. A man is a person that has embraced the responsibilities of the office of a male. And same applies to who a real woman is too. A woman is not just determined or decided by the genitals or you know, is not just a female. She's somebody that had, you know, chosen to embrace the demands of the office of being, you know, a female, you know. So there are responsibilities, there are role plays, and a woman becomes a woman, transit from being a female to being a woman when she embraces, you know, those responsibilities. So that's what makes a real woman.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit, before we begin to highlight some of these, you know, 10 things that a real woman should do. There's been a debate around, or even concerns actually, let's leave them as concerns of women who play both roles, masculine and feminine roles, right? And especially in situations where she is the breadwinner, she needs to, you know, play a more masculine role because she's, you know, taking on the responsibility of a man. How does she, you know, balance between being a real woman and, you know, still carrying on the responsibilities of a man?
I would like to start by saying that that is not supposed to be the normal sequence.
Yes.
And if we find ourselves, if any family should find, you know, itself in that position, it should be temporal. The ideal thing, what makes a marriage work the way it should work, is that the man should occupy, you know, his own position, and then the woman should occupy her own position. There's going to be a lot of friction and, you know, a lot of unsettlement as time proceeds, you know, when a woman is occupying that position. So I'm of the school of thought that it should be temporal, even if it is happening. I've been there before, you know, where my wife, basically financially, you know, my wife was earning more than I was earning. It wasn't a major problem because while that was going on, I was putting in very frantic effort to, you know, redefine the roles. And then another thing is that that should only happen financially because we cannot control the economic climate around us.
Exactly.
The fact that your wife is earning more than you should not make her become, you know, the person that occupies the roles of a man. Financial stability in marriage is just one of the things that makes the man the man. It's not the sum total. There are other things you can do as a man that keeps you in your role as a man. So that one will just be, I mean, the financial part will just be a borrowed responsibility that is meant to be temporal. You understand?
Fantastic.
So
thanks for establishing that. Now let's get right into some of those things that makes a real woman in the marriage.
okay, so there is a need for us to also mention that a real woman will be a person that understands her role play with the different categories of people represented in the home. So she has responsibilities towards the husband. Number one, for me, you know, these roles are in their hierarchy. What is obtainable around you determines which one comes first. So I would say for someone or for a family resident in Nigeria and for a man, being the peace of the man becomes number one. Because every man in Nigeria, or almost every man in Nigeria, is under intense pressure. So being the peace of that man is your number one responsibility. Then giving him the gift of submission. Well defined, although, because I've discovered that many people believe also that submission is withdrawing the voice of the woman in the house, and then she must follow every instruction.
She must be obedient.
She must be obedient. That's not the real definition of being submissive. Being submissive simply means that you become a sub-part of the mission of the man. You embrace what the man is trying to achieve also as part of your project, because the very essence of the woman from, you know, the religious perspective is that she's there to be a helpmeet. So when we're talking about submission, in fact, a woman is not going to help your destiny as a man if she says yes to everything you are doing. She's supposed to be a check that cautions you when you are straying and all of that. So if you take away her voice in the name of submission, you have caused her to miss a very important role that she's supposed to play. So being submissive is, you know, then she should be a multiplier. A woman is expected to be a multiplier. It is said that if you give a woman a house, she produces a home. If you give her spermatozoa, she produces a child. Give her, you know, groceries, she gives you a meal. So a woman is expected to play that role where substances that are given to her are multiplied into usable bits, you know, serving the needs of everybody. A woman should also be a succor for the children. Most busy men, most resourceful men take it or leave it. They can't be as available as the woman. And I'm not talking of I'm not talking of physically alone. I'm also talking about emotionally and all of that. So a woman should be a place where the children can run to every time, you know. A woman should be a defense for her husband. It's a pity that our culture today, you know, has promoted the culture or the attitude of women talking down on their husband, especially when they are challenged. Time and seasons fizzle out. If you have, you know, destroyed the image of your husband because of the pain of the moment, when that is corrected in your home, people will not, you know, travel the journey of that correction with you. So their perception about your husband is retained, even after things have been corrected. So it is essential that you be a shield to that man during trying time, you cover him and all of that. I also believe that a woman should ensure a spiritual spice in their home because of the work schedule of, you know, the man. Sometimes, of course, they're supposed to be the head when it comes to the religious beliefs of the home, but she can be the ginger. She should be someone encouraging, you know, the man. Okay, so we should pray, we should do this. It's very, very important. That's one of the things we saw with our parents, and it really helped their homes. I don't know which one I've mentioned and the ones I've missed. Okay, I also believe that a woman should also control the atmosphere of the home. There's a way a woman can be on that. You know, women project mood swings a lot of the time. And when you go from 100 to 0 on your husband or your children, the atmosphere of the home changes. So you must be conscious of the atmosphere of the home and try as much as possible to help to maintain a very peaceful and blissful atmosphere around your home. That's also very important. Which one have I not mentioned?
Oh, well, we'll reel through some of them, you know, before we quickly wrap up. But then there was a conversation we had earlier on, you know, of a video of Shade Okoye, who was revering her husband and, you know, ascribing so much to him, you know, being her support and pillar. And that sort of spurred the conversation around, you know, how women or how people actually perceive successful women, especially ones that are married, and how people are always quick to ascribe, you know, a man's success to hers, that without the man, she won't be or she can't be. So let's talk about the dynamics that happens, you know, in relationships of that sort, because we also have situations where, you know, women, successful women do not get that sort of support from their men or from their partners. And then we've also had cases where the men, you know, sort of tell them to, you know, stay at home, do not do anything, basically just to, you know, to be housewives, regardless of, you know, all their achievements and all their qualifications. So in those sort of situations, what would you advise, you know, in situations where, you know, that's sort of things?
Well, I would like to say that there are two sides to this. Number one, I think it is high time as a society that will begin to credit the women with their successes. I think we should begin to do that. Because our culture promotes the man as the all in all, it is such that even when a woman is doing very well, we tend not to want to acknowledge the fact that she's doing well. I think that should stop. If your woman is doing well, be humble enough to project her. And for support. However, I would also say that whatever level of success a woman attains without the support of her husband, if she had had the support of her husband, she would have doubled that level of success. She would have doubled it. There's no way.
On that interesting note, we'll have to wrap up the segment. Thank you so much for, you know, addressing that and, you know, hitting the nail on the head. Thank you so much. And
good to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
It's always a pleasure having you.
We have quite a lot still happening right here on Wake Up Nigeria, especially with regard to nutrition. Now, the nutrition segment on Wednesday is one of those ones I know a lot of people look forward to. Some people even take notes, if you know what I mean. And one of the things you should be taking note of today are the list of fruits and vegetables we'll be discussing. We have the amazing Ayegusi Timitokwe Bodunde back in the building. He is a registered nutritionist, dietitian, member of Nutrition Society of Nigeria and American Society of Nutrition, ASN. He's also a nutrition advisor for Tuna Kings Nutrition Care Limited. Significant benefits of fruits and vegetables in our daily meals is key for us. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here today.
All right, so now let's give people the benefits, fruits and vegetables daily? Because I know some people do, maybe if they see someone selling fruit along the road, maybe they just stop them and, you know, they buy fruit. But they don't make it a daily thing. Why is it important for it to be daily?
Okay. It is very important because every other food that you eat, for them to be metabolized, for them to digest and absorb in the body, fruit and vegetable is needed. Okay. Without fruit and vegetable, because of the nutrients in them, those other food you eat, your eba, your rice, they will not be properly absorbed in the body because of their nutrients.
Okay, so when you say absorbed in the body, most people just think, okay, I've had rice today and it digested. Yes. I was not hungry.
Yes.
So I'm good.
Yes.
So a lot of people think of food on the plate, entering my body, filling my stomach, so I don't feel the pain of hunger.
Yes.
But there's more to consuming these foods.
Yes.
What is it you are missing if fruits and vegetables are not there?
So firstly, when one is deficient of those vitamins and minerals in the body, which fruit and vegetable are their chief sources, we consider that hidden hunger.
Hidden hunger?
Yes.
Wow, that's a term I will take note of.
Hunger that you can see. Because I wouldn't like to go to the pure biochemistry now. Okay. Because there's no how you can discuss it without biochemistry. Yeah. Because when you talk of vitamins and minerals, when they get into the body, they are converted into an active forms. Okay. And when you talk of this active form, for your carbohydrate, your protein, your fat to be metabolized in the body, those active form of vitamins and minerals, they serve as a coenzyme. So it's those coenzyme that helps in the body enzyme to now break down those necessary macromolecules in those our bigger food. We call it larger, bigger food. So, and if these vitamins and minerals present in fruit and vegetable, if they are deficient, those proper absorption and breaking down would not take place. And it takes a longer time before you start seeing the deficiency. And most time when the deficiency, when you start seeing them, most time they are irreversible. It's just like people that are deficient of vitamin B3, which is niacin. That you see their skin having a rough skin. We call it pellagra. Wow. So there is no amount of vitamin B3 you want to bombard on that person that will repair that, because the person...
Okay. I want to go back to the issue of enzymes. Now, it's a word that I heard a lot when I was in school, but I remember that there are enzymes in saliva. There are enzymes in the juices in your stomach.
Yes.
Right? There are enzymes in different parts of your body that help to break down food.
Yes.
Right? So you are saying, yes, the saliva is there, the juices in your stomach are there, but the fruit and veg make sure that they're functioning optimally?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. They are coenzymes. Okay. They provide the coenzyme. You just want to take me, this is not a lecture because I'm a lecturer and I think those ones should be meant for my students. So, but when you talk of the active form of vitamin B3 now, it is niacin, which is nicotinamide adenine diphosphate.
Okay, so you've lost us now.
So that is why I don't want to go there.
But, okay, so let me take it back now, because a lot of people take fruits and vegetables after a meal.
Okay.
But there are some schools of thought that say take it before a meal. Which one is better? Because we need those coenzymes working, right?
Yes.
Before the main food lands.
Yes.
Or is it after?
You can take it anytime. As far that is before or after, as far you take it. Okay. Because it depends on if we are giving a weight reduction diet for a patient. Okay. So we encourage you eat more of those fruit and vegetable first, so that you already having that satiation. You're already feeling full. So when you want to eat the normal food, you are eating small.
Okay, so fill up on fruit and vegetables first?
First, for people that are on weight reduction diet. Okay. But if you are like a normal person, you are not on any weight reduction, yes, you can eat your food and you can garnish it with your fruit and vegetable alongside with the food. Because, you know, when you garnish it, it makes the food more appealing. Of course. And they work together. Okay. Yes.
So now I'm going to take it back. I know someone is watching now and they want to lose weight. You've said if I eat fruits and vegetables first, I fill up first before taking the other foods. Yes. So you're saying that I've reached a state of satisfaction. I'm satisfied to a certain extent.
Yes.
Meaning I'm not as hungry anymore.
Yes, yes.
For the other not so healthy foods.
Yes.
Now, if, for instance, I start a diet process like that, how long do you think it will take to start seeing the effects?
Like I said last week, it will take you like 2 months, depending on how you strictly following it, before you start seeing the effect. And because the body is like a clock. If you introduce a change to the body, before the body will adapt, it will take a longer time. Okay. So that is why you have, and you cannot just, for someone that has been eating plenty food at a time, if we are managing, we don't just cut the food by half, no. If we cut, it's going to be a problem. Okay. The cells will be deficient. So we have to, it's a gradual process. We can remove like 200 milligrams today, and tomorrow, and maybe after 2 weeks, you come back for a visit. Okay. So we can remove another 200 milligrams and we substitute it with more fruits and vegetables. And if you are taking fruits, there are some fruits you still have to abstain when it comes to weight reduction, because like banana, they contain more sugar. Like if you want to eat your carrot, we call carrot, they are culinary vegetable. Okay. When you cook carrot, you increase the glycemic index, you increase the sugar level. Wow. So if you...
So it's raw carrots we should be eating, not cooked?
Yes, if you are on weight reduction. If you are on weight reduction, it is advisable you take raw carrot, because when you cook, you increase the sugar level. Fantastic. Yes.
So there's some little intricacies, little details there that have probably not been so exposed to people. For instance, what you mentioned about carrots, then there's some fruits you should avoid. A lot of people swear by eating bananas that don't worry, maybe banana is a fruit. Plantain, for instance, with the mindset that it is good for weight reduction. So there is also the issue of unripe and ripe plantain. Where do you stand on that?
The difference between them is, when you look at ripening is just a process of breaking down the carbohydrates, the complex carbohydrates to simple carbohydrates when it ripes. That is what happens. So the only thing is, the carbohydrate, when you are giving that kind of food to people, you want them to reduce their weight, it is advisable they go for the unripe. Okay. Because if they go for the ripe one, the sugar level of the ripe one has increased.
Has increased.
Yes.
During the ripening process.
Yes. Which, when they get to the body, all these are food, sugar, they are later converted into energy. Fantastic. Yes. Which will definitely have effect on our weight. So that is why we advise you go for the unripe one. All right.
Before we wrap up, any other fruits and veggies we should avoid?
No, there is no, at least in Africa, what we have tropical fruits. Yeah. Like all our fruit is tropical. So there's no food there's no fruit you should avoid. All the main thing is to quantify.
All right.
Quantify.
I have to say thank you to you once again for joining us throughout the month of June. We appreciate you so much. Yes. And if you missed anything, make sure you just go to our YouTube channel and catch up on what he has been talking about over the past few weeks on nutrition. All right, then. At this point, we have to head over to the kitchen. And yes, we're going to be asking you to join us.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right, it's been a wonderful Wednesday.
Yes, it has. Welcome to the kitchen. This is chicken shawarma made by Chef Natura. So please enjoy, unwrap and enjoy.
Have a taste and tell us what you think.
So in that we have chicken, we have sausages.
Yeah.
Not exactly healthy options this morning, but we have vegetables in there as well. So.
Because that one is very important.
Yeah, that's a good balance.
We have fresh tomatoes, we have cabbage.
Okay. So please, quickly, have a taste.
Wow.
So what do you think?
Very fantastic.
Well done, Natura. Well done.
Thank you. It's always great having you in the building. Yes, and it's always great having you with us every morning.
Guys, have a great day, people. The show continues tomorrow.
Bye.